Welcome back, everyone, to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It is me, that's Pat, with Brad today. No Josh in studio, so get the milk carton out for that missing people. And yeah, we're going to sit here and break down Week 11, recap Week 11 here, and all these close matchups and all these fantasy football implications that happened today. And the playoff push is on for both the NFL and your fantasy league. So listen in. Let's see if we can help you win it. Win it all. Let's hand it over to Brad now and check in with him. How you doing over there, Brad?
I'm doing great. I just realized something mid-intro. I'll be taking a pie right after the show's over. It'll be showing up on Instagram. And then Mr. Josh himself will be taking a pie.
I know.
Thanks to Vance McDonald's touchdown.
That's right. Because you picked Vance. He had Evan Ingram. I had OJ.
Evan Ingram, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
And he had, I had OJ Howard.
Well, at least none of us took Zach Ertz, who we thought was going to be the.
I know. We took Ertz and Kelsey off the board because we're like, all right, take the big ones up. Wow, good thing, huh?
Oh yeah. A lot of good football today. A lot of close games. A lot of teams. Riverboat Ron. We'll get into that. His little play call he had at the end. Some game-winning field goals.
A lot of close games today.
A lot of close games. A lot of high-scoring games. A lot of surprising games out here.
Yeah,
I think at least. Joe Flacco was hurt, so we got some Lamar
There's
Jackson.
really only two blowouts. And
Yeah.
that's Philly and NOLA and Tennessee and Indy.
Yeah, and I think New Orleans defense has fixed all their issues.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Carson Wentz fits. But yeah.
Speaking of Fitz, we'll get into that too. That Fitz magic is done for a second time.
I don't know if you meant Larry Fitz. I was gonna say,
Oh, that one too.
Yeah. It's a lot
One
of
Fitz went down, one Fitz came up.
All right. Well, are you ready, Freddie?
Yeah, let's do this.
See? He went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody today. I'm a huge Queen fan, for all you that don't know. So
Do we want to recommend Bohemian Rhapsody?
I recommend. I've seen it twice. I'd go see it a third time. Ignore the historical inaccuracies and appreciate it for the great movie that it is.
Yeah. It's Hollywood. They got to spruce up some things. They got to take some liberties.
I mean, they had your eyes wet, and that's all that matters.
You got to give me a little cherry-eyed, dude. Father-son moments. Get you cherry-eyed.
All right. Well, let's go to those cherry-eyed Atlanta fans after this loss today and against Dallas. Dallas at Atlanta. Dallas won 22-19. And if anything, we saw that Julio Jones can be a hard-hitting safety whenever he wants to be.
Yeah, he can. He laid out good old... Oh, man. Can't remember his name now.
Number 38?
Heath.
Okay.
Heath. Can't remember his first name. Heath. So, speaking of Julio Jones, you brought it up, Pat. Is he the number one wide receiver rest of the season? Because he was already right there without touchdowns. And now we have 3 straight games with 3 straight touchdowns.
Well, you got Thielen still.
We do have Thielen, but Thielen's going in the wrong direction.
Okay. You got DeAndre Hopkins with 5 straight touchdown games.
Okay.
I know the yards aren't there like Julio's yards are.
Yeah.
And then you cannot ignore Michael Thomas in New Orleans with how New Orleans has been playing.
No, you can't. But I'm just... Julio
I know,
was
the number
already
one,
in the top 5 before the touchdowns. Now he has touchdowns. Does that change? I mean...
Calvin Ridley still hurt them.
Anybody that's like didn't sell Julio or freak out about Julio, good to go, right? I mean...
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's a set and forget.
I mean, it's always been a set and forget, but you're not upset at yourself for not maybe selling him with... He wasn't.
Can't hit those panic buttons too early, and hopefully you didn't hit the panic button on Julio because it is backfiring now.
Yeah, I think he might be the number 1 wide receiver rest of the season. I mean,
all right.
Bold statement, woo. But Telvin Coleman really didn't show up here. I mean, he had 8 carries, 58 yards, good average. Just was a weird game because Atlanta was up, but they weren't really up a lot, and Dallas just kind of stuck in there. And then
Yeah, exactly. They just never let him get away.
yeah, so I really don't know what to expect from Tevin Coleman. I mean, he had 3 catches for 27 yards, but no touchdowns.
I mean, outside of Julio Jones, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, Tevin
That was
Coleman.
the only touchdown. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true
if
too.
you had Giorgio Tavecchio, you were happy this week. And my Matt Bryant was back. Messed that up.
What, Matt Bryan was back?
He was back.
Oh, okay.
Ah, dang it.
What?
First mess up of the day.
Trevecchio?
Yep.
That's right. There's probably gonna be a lot of them because Josh isn't here.
Yep.
This is a tripod. When you only have 2 legs, it gets a little hairy.
Yeah. But I mean, you want to talk about the player of the game?
Yeah.
The straight up boss.
I'm guessing you're talking about Zeke.
Yeah. 123 yards on the ground, touchdown, and then leading target getter, leading receptions, 7 receptions, 79
It
yards.
took them a while, but they finally figured out, you know what?
Zeke's pretty good.
Zeke's our offense.
It's like Minnesota right now realized that, hey, Stephon Diggs is pretty good. Just give him the ball.
Yeah, even if he's covered.
These guys can't cover him.
Yeah, weird.
So it made Dak's day. Doesn't look good. He threw the ball 32 times, only 208 yards. Did have a rushing touchdown, which did save the game.
Right, but before this game, and this might be the last thing we'll say about this game, a lot of people are high on Dak. Like, oh, yeah, Atlanta's terrible against Russian quarterbacks, and I think Dak's going to have a great game. You know, pencil him in for 20-plus points. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
200 yards, like you said, 200-yard passing, and luckily a rushing score. But
Austin Hooper started off really hot, and then they quit going to him. He had 3 catches in the first quarter, and then after that, he had 1 more catch. He did have 8 targets, so I haven't looked at every catch he had, but I'm wondering how many of them weren't catchable balls, and maybe just Matt Ryan under a lot of pressure from this Dallas defense, who is, I mean, this showed us Atlanta's been a really high-scoring offense, and the Dallas defense might be for real.
I think they are. I mean, I don't think I've been...
Are you upset with Amari Cooper's production?
No, I'm not, because I didn't expect him. Everyone thought he was going to be some different guy when he went to Dallas. He's not. He's just...
This was the first game that he's gotten only 5 targets. They didn't hyper-target him. So
No.
I wonder... He's always been a guy that when he gets loads of targets, he will produce, but he needs production.
Yeah, he's like an Adrian Peterson of wide receivers.
Exactly.
He needs the carries. He needs the targets. And you can't always guarantee those targets. So,
Can't always get what you want.
that's right.
You can try sometimes.
You just might find.
Get what you need.
And what Carolina needed today was 1 more point, or 2 more points for the win.
Riverboat run, baby. Go for 2.
Carolina at Detroit. Detroit won this game by 1 point, 20-19.
So what do you... As just a fan of NFL, I know you're not a Carolina or a Detroit fan, but when you see a coach of the team that's favored in this, because Carolina, I'm pretty sure, was a favorite,
Oh, absolutely.
or really close to a favorite. They were 6-3
they're a
coming
favorite.
in
Yeah.
to a 3-6 team, and they go for 2 instead of securing the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Now,
that make
as
you
a
really nervous as a fan, where you're not like, we don't think we can win this in overtime? Because this is usually something you see from teams that are doing really bad and they're just trying to get still a win.
Right.
Not a team that thinks they can win.
Maybe they were confident in their goal line set on offense.
You do have Cam Newton, who is a...
You have Cam Newton, you have Christian McCaffrey, you got C.J. Anderson, you got Greg Olsen. You have a lot...
They do not have C.J. Anderson. They cut him this week.
Oh, well, I sound like
You
an
show up to
idiot.
every show, you know this stuff.
Zinger.
Oh, snap.
They still have Greg Olsen. They have a lot of offensive or red zone weapons. So, I mean, Devin Funchess is no small guy. So,
Speaking of weapons, DJ Moore,
yeah.
7 receptions, 157 yards, and a touchdown.
What we need to do is start going into our old episodes about our previews and cutting out some of our takes. Like when Josh was like, I just don't know what wide receiver to take. You know, maybe Funchess, but who knows? Well, DJ Moore was the receiver taking this one.
He was. And I don't know if this... Do you think this is a fluke? Obviously, he's not probably going to get 157 yards every game.
Yeah.
But do you see him getting 8 targets?
Yeah.
Because usually the targets they go for him are shorter passes that are more catchable balls. They're not just sending him deep and hoping, prayer, and that he'll catch the ball and come down with it.
How much of these targets were game script, though, because they were playing from behind and passing a lot? Where Chris McCaffrey, you know, he gets a lot of...
Detroit was probably focusing on Christian McCaffrey. Keep slowing down Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But that's going to be game plan from everybody is
I
take
mean,
away
if
Greg
you want to
Olsen,
beat
take
him...
away Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
Make Devin Funchess and DJ Moore beat us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to get beat by Cam Newton's arm, not by his legs.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton, speaking of, did go out of this game with an injury. He got rolled up on his leg pretty bad, but then he came back afterwards and just started balling out of control. Because before he went out,
Of course
I know a
he
lot
did.
of
This is
fans.
Cam Newton.
He is Cam Newton. He's a big man.
He's a beast.
He is a beast.
But we kind of already talked about it. Chris McCaffrey kind of got contained. I won't
He
say
had 6
shut
catches
down.
for 57 yards.
Yeah,
So
I'm not going to say
PPR
shut down.
He has such a safe floor PPR with the amount of volume he gets in the passing game.
Right.
But yeah, rushing wise, I mean, he did average 4 yards a carry, but no big runs. I mean, a 10-yard run was his best run.
Yeah.
Um,
But I don't think he's ever been that guy to be
I
the
think
runner.
this Detroit defense is going to get better against the run. They have made moves to improve their run defense. So we'll see how that does go forward.
Man, Stephon, nope.
Wrong guy.
That's all right. It was a 1 and a low number. But yeah, I agree with you. But I don't think Christian McCaffrey, yeah, like you said, he's been that.
He's a safe floor guy. I mean,
yeah.
This is kind of my biggest thing I hate about PPR is that a running back like Christian McCaffrey, who only runs for 53 yards, but gets 6 catches,
is now getting you like top 10 20-something points, yeah.
And it's just with no touchdowns.
So I should go to half-point PPR next year.
Even then, you run into like weird things. But yeah, it takes away from a guy who maybe gets the ball 20 times, rushes for 60 yards, but doesn't catch the ball only 2 times. And
good segue to Kerryon Johnson. He got 87 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he did on 15 carries.
So in standard, that guy's a boss.
Yeah. And in PPR, he looks bad because he only had 2 catches for 10 yards. Yeah. Not terrible game. It was actually a really good game. I think it was better than what we thought before I get going any farther. He did leave the game for a little bit. I don't know the severity of the injury. I can't remember if he came back or not. I'm trying to check real quick.
Okay.
But
I'll talk about the other guys then if you check. Or did you already find? Okay. Kenny Galladay wasn't. So we talked about DJ Moore being the guy for Carolina. Kenny Galladay.
He was the only guy there, though. Marvin Jones didn't play. Golden Tate's gone.
Yep.
With him being the only guy there, getting 14 targets.
Yeah. 113 yards and a touchdown. He wasn't the only guy. Yeah. Bruce
Kerryon Johnson sprained his knee, so he didn't come back to the game after that.
Bruce Ellington. Everyone started him.
Yeah. Theo Riddick had 7. If anything does happen with Kerryon Johnson, Theo Riddick is a safe play in PPR.
Yes.
Like, he isn't going to be great, but if you're a Todd Gurley owner and you're looking for somebody to get at you, maybe pray to God to get you 15 points next week. If Kerryon Johnson doesn't play, Theo Riddick could easily get you 15 points.
I think so. But did you see that Kerryon injury?
Yeah, it's a sprained knee. He's going to have an MRI. So we'll see what happens with this MRI over the week. Watch practice reports. I do worry with Detroit being kind of out of it, how they're going to push their rookie running back. If they want to maybe overuse him, or if they want to wait till he's fully healthy.
I was going to say, they probably won't overuse him if they're out of it. Because if there's any question,
then I don't think they want to push the issue with his knee.
Right.
I mean, it's a knee on a running back. Last time I checked, pretty important.
Yeah, kind of. Maybe need a little something there.
A little something.
Yeah. Stafford, 220 yards and a touchdown.
Not great, but
worth mentioning.
Worth mentioning.
You know what isn't worth mentioning at all? Tennessee Titans and their offense, because they lost to the Colts today. 38-10 in Indianapolis. Mariota got hurt in this game, and we saw...
He got destroyed.
And we saw Blaine Gabbert come into the game.
And didn't look terrible. I mean, he threw an interception, but he was 11 for 16. Did get a touchdown, 118 yards. Was better than anything Mariota was doing in the game.
So, what happened to Mariota?
He just got laid out on a sack. He was back there running around like an idiot and got taken out.
All right.
Just got killed.
Can't run around with chicken with your head cut off. Well, it is Thanksgiving week, so we'll say turkey with your head cut off.
So delicious.
Derrick Henry, 46 rush yards. Deion Lewis, 24 rush yards. Not a lot happening there, but really not a lot happening in this entire offense.
So the Mariota injury, though, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's his elbow again. Same elbow that he hurt before. Remember the tingling in the fingertips and stuff? And we had just talked about maybe we kind of underestimated the severity of that injury. If this is the same thing again, and he goes back to old Mariota prior to being at those fingertips, ooh, play the drop. Wrong one.
It won't play.
Oh, there it is. iPad problems. It's a little cold out here.
Get the calibration.
A little cold out here in the garage.
All right, but with Mariota being gone, Corey Davis is on a bit of a hot streak.
Not anymore. He's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Streak done.
Streak over.
Streak over.
Okay.
Jonnu Smith did get 8 targets.
Ooh.
And that's big saying that because Blaine Gabbert coming in. I wonder how he goes
for
back.
The checkdowns.
The checkdowns to Jonnu Smith. I wonder how he's going to use that. Deion Lewis, not a good game. Still, he was out-touched by Derrick Henry. They both had 10 touches, but Deion Lewis was only 1 catch.
Yeah, that's not good.
And he had he had out-touch. I'm sorry, he had 11 carries. Derrick Henry had 9 carries, but did way more with his carries.
Yeah.
Do you think Derrick Henry might take over his backfield as maybe the premier running back later in the season when it comes more to a ground and pound style NFL?
Well, yeah, sure. Ground and pound. It's always been Derrick Henry.
Okay. And well, I wonder, too, with Mariota being out, if they do try to go to more conservative, more just punch it up the gut 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Get to third and shorts and let Blaine Gabbert check down.
Maybe. But even Deion Lewis is going to be there for checkdowns. Deion Lewis and Jonnu Smith. All right, moving over to the winning side of the ball here. We got Andrew Luck, who was kind of a boss today. Threw 297 and had 3 passing touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. How many of those went to tight ends? If you take a guess, I know you don't have the stats right in front of you.
I do.
Oh, do you know how many?
I do, because I started Eric Ebron today in a league.
0. How many targets did Eric Ebron get?
I was so high on Ebron.
How many targets did Eric Ebron get?
I feel like I let people
Eric
down.
Ebron had more passing attempts than targets.
That's not good if you're starting. That's not good if you're starting in period. But Doyle was the tight end, 4 catches, 43 yards.
And he still only had 4 targets. So I'm still nervous about that.
Yeah.
But
my God. I was
but
so...
Ty made those.
Yeah, let's not bury
defensive
the
backs
lead.
look bad. Ty,
9 targets, 9 catches.
155 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's
It was Ty's day. There's
Ty,
this...
Andy Luck. Are we good for them all year? I mean, I believe they have Jacksonville next week. I'm pulling it up right now, but I'm pretty sure Jacksonville's either this week or next week.
So Ty scares me.
Well, they have the Dolphins. Oh, no, hold on. They had the Dolphins this week.
Ty scares me because I feel like he's just a boomer bust receiver.
Oh, they had Titans. They have the Dolphins, then the Jaguars. And we'll get into what the Jaguars did this week.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, that's coming up later. Maybe we can do that in another 2 games because I got some interesting news on that one too. But T.Y. Hilton still scares me because I feel like he's just a boomer bust guy. And can you trust him?
Yeah. I know a guy we can trust, though. Marlon Mack. I think we came into this game not really expecting much out of Marlon Mack. Gets 16 carries, which is great, right? 61 yards and the touchdown.
Yeah.
Only gets 1 catch for 8 yards. But whatever. We're not expecting Marlon Mack to be the passing down guy. That's Naheem Hines, who only had 1 catch as well.
But that's 16 carries and a blowout victory.
Yes.
That I want more carries than a blowout. Because what's going to happen when they're playing in a tight game or from behind?
Yeah, I mean, Marlon Mack is a guy that's been injury prone, so maybe they're not going to waste him in blowout games.
Maybe.
Because we did see Jordan Wilkins with 4 carries, Naheem Hines with 5. Jacoby Brissett had 3 rushes when he took those knees. Victory formation.
You got to just mention everyone on the stat sheet today, huh?
Well, just because it's 28 rushes. So if I say 28 rushes,
Oh.
but it's really only 25 rushes when you actually
Right.
break
But
it
we
down.
can boost the numbers here. Yeah. Yeah, because we're trying to fill out our fiscal year report here.
Woo!
All right. That pretty much wraps up. I don't have anything to add to that game.
Andy Luck's really good.
Yeah, that's not news.
Okay, you're an Eric Ebron owner. You said it.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, people
Next
who
week against Miami, do you want to start him? Or are you done?
No.
He
no,
hurt you, and
can't.
you're never going back to him.
No.
He
you gotta-
cheated on you with the hot quarterback, so you're never going back to him again. Or are you going to be? You're going to come crawling back to him?
Yeah, I'm a weak man. I'll come crawling back. I'm weak. No, because he's done so well for me in other games.
Jonnu Smith next week or Eric Ebron?
Ebron.
Okay.
Listen,
Because
you-
the upside, right? The ceiling.
You got to allow some of these guys to have bad weeks.
All right.
Unless they're like Todd Gurley.
Let's get into a game that was way more of a game. You ready for this?
Scoring wise. Holy. Yep. Tampa Bay at the New York Football Giants. New York Football Giants coming out with a win on this one, 38-35. We saw 2 quarterbacks in this game.
We saw 3 quarterbacks in this game.
Well, okay. We saw 2 quarterbacks in Tampa Bay in this game. Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, if you started him, he did get a rushing touchdown, which made him not completely kill you. Because without that rushing touchdown, he gets you 2 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Gets
That's
you
not
8.
good.
So,
There's no magic left in that arm.
yeah, I don't know if it was the cold weather up in New York, what it was. Fitzpatrick's done.
He played in Buffalo and for the Jets. He knows about
He was
New
a
York.
lot younger back then.
Was he?
He played at Harvard, too. You'll say that. I think it's cold up there in the winter.
He was a lot younger then. If we're going to talk about being younger.
All right. But Jameis Winston came in, though. 12 for 16. Did throw an interception. Almost. He had 199 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Next week, Jameis Winston. If you were planning on starting Fitzpatrick in that game, are you starting Jameis Winston in that game? Are you going out and grabbing Jameis?
If you're starting Fitzpatrick, yeah.
It's against the 49ers, who haven't looked that great unless they're playing Oakland.
I don't hate that matchup. Jameis against 49ers.
Yeah.
No, not bad at all.
The one good thing about Dirk Cutter is he does come out early and say which guy's the starter. So at least hopefully Monday or Tuesday we'll know which guy.
That's how you know they play fantasy football.
Yeah. Peyton Barber. Oh my gosh, Peyton Barber. 106 yards and a touchdown.
Talk about a guy who did something with his 18 carries.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe it's not normal boss material, but that's Peyton Barber boss material.
Yeah.
Because if you started Peyton Barber, you were probably hoping for like 10 points.
Now I'm dead! Like a boss.
He also caught 2 passes. That's another 2 points PPR.
PPR, whatever. We'll get into PPR at the other side of the ball in that running back situation.
Okay.
With Mr.
But yeah, no, totally agree. You're not expecting a lot from Peyton Barber. He gave you way more than what you thought he would.
I think this Giants run defense is terrible. All running backs are a go against Giants the rest of the season.
I mean, they made Peyton Barber look like
That's what
100
I'm saying.
yard
That's what I'm
rusher.
saying. Yeah, he averaged almost 6 yards a carry.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up with the receivers here. We got Mike Evans having a boss game, 6 catches, 120 yards, and 1 touchdown. O.J. Howard, my boy, tight end of the week here at the Empty Wagon anyway. 5 catches, 78 yards. We should do something for the biggest winner, like give him immunity. Or maybe just like a small
Or if
pie.
we're ever in the same room, maybe the biggest winner could throw the pie.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, I like that.
mean,
That makes sense. So
If we're
yeah.
ever in the same room, win a pie is
Yeah,
getting
so
thrown.
sometime around New Year's when we're all in the same room. Makes sense.
Yep.
Humphreys?
Humphreys and Goodwin. Goodwin had less. They both had the same amount of catches. It's very similar yards. Humphreys did get the touchdown.
And he had 2 more targets.
He did. Jameis Winston, I think we have came to the realization that he likes Adam Humphreys as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he's the guy when he's out there over Deshaun Jackson, over Chris Godwin.
I mean, he spreads the ball out pretty well. I mean,
He
you
does,
kinda
and that's
look
what makes. I think that's what ruins us about Jameis. Where Ryan Fitzpatrick will be like, "There's my wide receivers. They're going deep. We slinging it right."
Yep.
In the beginning of the season, those balls were falling in people's hands.
Yeah, I loved it.
Now they're not. They're falling in your defensive back's hands or on the ground.
Yeah.
So it looked great because he hyper targeted the wide receivers. It was easy fantasy days when you played. Ryan Fitzpatrick was out there playing good. It was easy because you said, "Start the wide receivers. Start him.
Start Howard.
Start Howard. Roll it out there."
I mean,
Jameis
Deshaun
spreads the ball
Jackson
a
still
lot
had
more.
7 targets.
He did, but I'm not sure how the target breakdown goes with Fitzpatrick in the game compared to Jameis.
Yeah.
I think some of those may, if we go back and look, are a lot of Fitzpatrick
Oh, yeah.
just heave-hoeing that ball like he's playing shot put. He's on the track and field.
Deshaun
out there.
Jackson probably gets so happy when Fitzpatrick's in the game.
Yeah, because remember right before Fitzpatrick came back, he was threatening to he wanted to get traded. Let's move over to the other side of the ball, though. Let's move over to the winning team.
Let's start
Eli
with...
Manning.
All right.
Josh's quarterback of the week, right? He's not here to defend this, so we can talk trash all this one.
It's not terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It was 2 touchdowns, 230 yards. It wasn't great. Only 1 incompletion. 17 for 18.
It's pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. It's not a bad quarterback of the week. We gave him a
It's
lot of
not.
trash. We got to... You know what, Josh?
But one
Not-
of them
not
was a
a bad.
check down touchdown to Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
It was a lot of short. It
Hey,
wasn't
they
a
all
lot of-
count. They all count.
Yeah, and he had a lot of guys breaking tackles and going. It wasn't like he was hitting people down the field that much.
Talking about Saquon, though. Holy boss. 142 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Didn't really do much. Oh, I guess, yeah. 2 catches.
One of them for a touchdown. That's
Yeah,
the
that's what makes
receiving
it.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Is this
10
Saquon?
yards.
I mean, Saquon's been a great running back all year, but is this his coming out party as I can carry a team?
Well,
I mean, it's a bad Buccaneers defense, right?
yeah.
It's a very bad Buccaneers defense. It's going to start getting cold up in New York. They're
Look
going to
what
rely on the
Zeke
run
did.
game.
His-
27 carries, though. 27 carries. You give me a running back that's getting 27 carries in a game that's not a blowout.
And can still catch out of the backfield.
Yeah, this is a close game almost all the
Yeah.
way through. I mean, they were up, but they weren't like blowing them out of the water.
Right. It's like Adrian Peterson with the pass catching option.
Yeah,
Back in the day, obviously.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Saquon, not that anybody's ever thought about not setting him. Same thing for the other guy on the receiving end, Mr. Odell Beckham himself. Only 4 targets, but he only threw the ball 18 times. So we do the math. That's a lot of the target share.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's good
He
math.
was the most targeted guy. So when you think about the fact that he only threw the ball 18 times, he gets 4 targets, catches all 4 of them for 74 yards and the touchdown.
So here it goes back to what you alluded to. Does Saquon hurt Odell and Ingram, Sterling Shepard? Because if you're just carrying the team with those carries and all those yards,
How do you put this?
does that mean
It
Odell?
doesn't, obviously, it doesn't, the more mouths to feed doesn't help him, right? But this was a very bad run defense team. It was a bad defense team all around. Yeah, I don't think Odell's going to have those games like before. Maybe when they're getting in some shootouts, maybe with Philadelphia or something, because Philadelphia has no secondary now, but can still stop the run. We'll sort of stop the run.
Sort of.
We'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But Philadelphia has nobody in the secondary. Another defensive back got carried off the field. We could see that maybe changing things around. But right now, I'm still starting Odell.
Oh,
Evan
yeah, you still
Ingram.
have to start him.
Evan Ingram only had 2 targets. I'm really starting to get nervous about Evan Ingram's
Yeah, I mean,
catches.
didn't work out for Josh this week. Woo! Getting that pie in the face. And luckily, Vance McDonald saved you.
Oh, yeah. Late time touchdowns.
Well, I think we talked about everyone we need to talk about during this game. Right?
Sterling Shepard, bad game. Just bad game.
Yeah. 2 catches, 22 yards.
Yeah. Not
Gross.
Good. Not good.
Terrible.
Not
Terrible.
good. Terrible.
But let's talk about another close game. Going back to the close games now. So we talked about, well, this was still a close game, just a lot more points. We got Houston at Washington. Houston won, which makes it, 7 in a row now? They won 23-21.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson did not look that good in
Let's,
this game.
you know what? I know we want to talk about Deshaun Watson. Let's just talk about the first thing. Alex Smith, done for the year.
Oh, yeah.
Broken tibia, broken fibia.
He gone. He gone.
He had Carter Field. He's gone. Not that he was probably somebody's number one option at quarterback anyway.
Hopefully he wasn't anyone's option.
I know, it's been a bad offense.
I get it, yeah.
But Colt McCoy going forward. Colt McCoy is a journeyman quarterback. I mean, I think he's almost the definition of journeyman quarterback now. He's been around the league for a while. I mean, when you think Colt McCoy, I still think Texas football, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think of NFL. Like, I still think he's only like 22 years old. But I'm pretty sure if I pull up his bio, he's not a young little spring chicken anymore.
No. And do you remember the last game he ever played with the Longhorns?
Yeah, he was crying in the tunnel because Ndamukong Suh killed him.
No, he got hurt in the national championship game.
He got hurt in the Big 12 game. That's the one I remember. When Ndamukong
See,
Suh
he gets
went.
hurt. So who's the third string?
Yeah. But with Colt McCoy, he's never been a big arm strength guy. He's been a check down. We saw Jordan Reed feast with 11 targets, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Does this bring back Jordan Reed into top 5 tight end? Because I gotta say top 5. Because if I say top 10 tight end, that's just crapshoot. Top
That's
5
easy,
tight
yeah.
end. These are your must start tight ends.
So we got Ertz and Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty open from there.
No, you can say though. I think OJ Howard's starting to get in that range.
I was going to say O.J. Howard. I didn't know if that was too much of a spelunking.
Who are we skipping? I know we're skipping somebody here.
Well, we're not skipping Gronk because he's been hurt.
He's hurt. But yeah, so does this bump him back up in that possible top
We're not
5?
skipping Graham because he's hurt now too.
Trey Burton, who
Yeah, I think number tight ends 3, 4, and 5. Top tight ends is pretty open. So yeah, I think Jordan Reed with Colt McCoy in there going
is
forward.
he a must start tight end the rest of the way? How about that?
Yeah,
Must start.
I mean,
Over Vance McDonald likes and Jared Cooks. Jared Cook had another touchdown this week. We'll get into that.
that's a tough one, but yeah, you gotta think upside. You gotta think
Over your Indianapolis tight ends.
Yes,
Over your Eric Ebron's.
yes,
Okay.
guaranteed that. Yeah, and that's not because of this week. I just think Jordan Reed's just better than them in general.
Well, and there's nobody else catch the ball there.
Right? They have to split that
I mean,
almost with 3.
Josh
All
Hawks had 7 targets and did nothing with them.
Yep, not surprised.
Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns, which saves his day because he only had 51 yards on 16 carries.
That's not good.
So 2 touchdowns. If you start Adrian Peterson, you're happy about that. But let's get over the Houston side of the ball, though, because there's a lot more to
Now
talk
you
about
want
over
to talk
here.
about Houston.
I know, I threw you off, right? I want to talk about the injury. I want to get
No, that's
Don't
fine. I
bury
mean,
the-
that's kind of the lead. So
Deshaun Watson looked bad.
yeah,
He bad.
he did not have a good day.
Washington's defense was really good.
Sorry, Josh. I know you're big on Watson, but they are good. They are a good defense. They just couldn't pull out the win in this one. But they are surprisingly 6-4. Do you think Washington's a 6-4 team? If I told you that right now, would you believe that?
No.
They are.
But it's the NFC least. I don't know who to pick in the NFC least.
I think they're division leaders, actually,
They
even
are.
with the loss. Lamar Miller, everyone was kind of confused going into this matchup about to start him. Do you like him? Do you hate him? A lot of people hated him. He got you 86 yards on the ground. He added 3 catches for 22 yards to that.
So the thing I want to say about this is the same defense that kept Zeke to 20-some yards on the ground. Obviously, it's a better passing attack. So
Right.
Lamar Miller, like we say all the time, he's your quintessential RB2. He's
Yeah.
that bottom end of the starting running backs.
Right.
Like, you're starting him over all the backups, but you're really not starting him over another. Like, you're not starting him over a Marlon Mack. You're not starting him over a Matt Breida, probably.
I would. Over Breida?
Okay.
Sure.
But that's what I'm saying. He's in that. He's down there in that bottom.
You got to think about it.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, but he's the starter. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
He's a starter, and then you got to think about it. You got to look at the matchup. Yeah, it's definitely not like a Mixon or Gurley.
Yeah, you're starting him over Latavius Murray. You're starting, but
Yeah.
even then, you're like Latavius Murray.
Well,
Okay, then
He
on the
had a good
receiving
game.
side, Nuke, who we said don't even talk about it. He had actually a touchdown, 56 yards.
saved
Biggest
his day a little bit.
Demarius Thomas, 1 target, 0 things. Kiki was back.
He said back, right?
Back.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
He was back.
Just making sure.
He had 9 targets, target leader.
Yep.
We saw this before when Kiki came back, even with Will Fuller. When Kiki was there, Will Fuller got hardly any looks. Demarius isn't the same talent, or is a different type of talent than Will Fuller is.
Let's not forget that Deshaun Watson had a bad day. Going up good against
But
good
1
defense.
target. That's the thing I want to say. It's 1 target.
Okay.
With Kiki with 9 targets.
Yeah.
This is
It's a slot guy.
This is what I want to say is that Deshaun Watson looks Kiki's way before he's going to look. It's DeAndre, Kiki, and the rest.
Yes. 100%.
You know, Lamar Miller with some checkdowns, 5 checkdowns. I bet you if you look at that, a couple of those are just throwaway balls. Like, I'm going to get killed. He's standing there. He was blocking. I'm going to throw it at his feet.
Yeah.
So
you're
I wonder,
saying-
with Kiki being healthy,
Okay.
I think Demarius can't start. Just like we said with Will Fuller.
Yeah. I would.
Because Demarius doesn't have that boom play that Will Fuller had.
All right. Yeah.
Will Fuller could make 1 catch, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
I don't see Demarius Thomas doing that.
No, he does, and he's older than Will Fuller. I think a lot of those Demarius Thomas owners got really excited when he got traded to.
And he had that
Houston.
game where they were using him, and then they came out here, said, "Yep."
Well,
So, like I said, if
he's a
Kiki's
good
healthy,
decoy.
Kiki's healthy. Stay away from Demarius Thomas.
All right, now we can get into this game that we alluded to earlier. It's a rematch of last year's AFC divisional game, where Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh. And actually, coming into this game, Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh the last 2 times. So Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Pittsburgh came back to win this one 20-16. Before we get into the breakdown, I just want to say,
Jacksonville was leading the whole game till the
Yeah.
4th quarter.
I know,
Like, it wasn't like they got
yeah,
ran out of the house or played from behind.
I know they should have won that game, but Ben Roethlisberger came back and scored 3 touchdowns and led them to the victory. Jacksonville is shopping Jalen Ramsey.
Supposedly, the report came out, then they denied the report. Like the Browns, the report came out they were going to hire Condoleezza Rice as head coach,
Oh my God,
and then
Love
that
it.
report got
Love
shut
it.
down. So
no, it didn't. Still going.
if
that-
Jacksonville trades Jalen Ramsey, they're going full rebuild again.
Why?
I don't know why they would either.
Yeah, they don't need
He
to
is the
rebuild that
cornerstone of their
defense.
defense. Like, it's the pass rush, and then he helps pass rush because he says, I will take your number 1. Oh, your number 1's Gronk? I don't care. I will go play on the line and cover Gronk.
Yeah, he's fearless. He's a great player, but they're sick of his antics. So I don't know if this is just almost a scare tactic to be like, slow your roll, but his trash talk's kind of part of his game.
I mean, and we hear about this all the time. The farther you get from the line of scrimmage, the more players talk.
Yeah.
Right. Our favorite cornerbacks from all time, Deion Sanders, right, and all these other greats.
Yeah, sure.
What they
Yeah,
do?
sure.
They talked.
Oh, yeah.
They ran their mouth.
Huge trash talkers.
Yeah. Wide receivers, like the wide receivers we remember. Do we remember Steve Largent when we talk about greatest wide receivers? No, he had a great career, but guess what? He didn't talk.
Love
Jerry
Randy
Rice
Moss,
didn't
though.
talk, but let's be different. Like,
Well,
his numbers are
That's
so
his
far.
style.
But
Randy Moss did both.
Randy Moss talked. Randy Moss was awesome. Chris Carter talked.
Yeah.
Chris Carter still talks about Fall Guys.
Yeah, Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. They're talkers, and that's what these guys on the outside do. Because what do we talk about when we talk about wide receivers? Targets they get, right?
Yeah.
Unless they run their mouth, because you get 2 targets, but you run your mouth and you had 2 big plays.
Yeah. Michael
Odell
Crabtree.
Beckham, we
Running
love
the
him.
mouth. Starting the fights. We'll get into
Yeah.
that game after this one. But so let's break down these guys. So we kind of talked about Ben. He had
47 passes.
for 314 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also 3 picks, which is kind of what gave him or put him in that deficit. Yeah, it was a big hit. And the one that his other touchdown, because I said he got 3, was the rushing touchdown. James Conner, now that Lev Bell is gone, he has the job, has that security.
He got vultured.
Didn't.
His touchdown got vultured by
Yeah.
Big Ben
Yeah, sure, because that would have helped. He had 25 rushing yards.
and only on 9 carries. Big Ben throws about 47 times on 9 carries, and you only get 9 carries to James Conner in a game that's not going in halftime is 9-0. And Big Ben's looking like trash. He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, he was.
He gave you 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, so his fantasy day looks good. But real life wise, 3
Going to the half, it wasn't.
These are Ryan Fitzpatrick numbers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
that's right.
Big Ben hadn't won 2 Super Bowls. We'd be comparing him to Ryan Fitzpatrick right now.
Yeah, especially in his older days.
Yeah, this is literally what Ryan Fitzpatrick did a couple weeks ago. 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and like 3 or 4 interceptions. Turnovers. He's not good with the ball. I mean, I get it. Jacksonville's defense is really good.
And
But
they
they
seem
hadn't
to
been
have
really good.
Pittsburgh's number.
Yeah.
I think that's it, too. And they were at home. Connor did have 6 catches, though, for 24 yards, so he got in on the Ben 47 throws action. AB and Juju, like we said in the breakdown, start them, don't even think about it, and it proved to be
When
right.
your quarterback throws the ball 47 times and you guys get 23 targets,
Yeah.
you're going to have probably a good game.
Oh, yeah, love it. AB had 13 targets, Juju 10. AB had the touchdown. They both went over 100 yards receiving.
And then the fourth quarter, Big Ben said, hey, Jacksonville's not good against tight ends. Hey, Vance McDonald, let
That's
me get
right.
you the ball.
We have to mention Vance because, he helped you out with that touchdown.
Ain't getting pied. Streak's broken.
There you go. You're not the biggest loser anymore.
I'm still a loser.
Means you get to pie the champ. That's right,
We're all
Josh.
losers here at the Empty Wagon Fantasy.
You know who's...
Soccer.
Well, I don't think there's any big losers as Blake Bortles. I know he only threw the ball 18 times, but he only had 104 yards.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, it wasn't good. 5 yards, 5.8 yards per
That's
completion.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about the receivers in our preview episode.
We said Moncrief, but
If you had to pick one, Moncrief.
yeah,
It turned out it was Leonard Fournette. In fact, the offense ran through Leonard Fournette, much like it runs through Zeke.
30
in Dallas.
touches.
Yeah.
Holy! In the first half, though, Carlos Hyde and him weren't that far off in touches. Carlos Hyde had 6 first half carries, which I was really surprised about. I didn't see any injuries from Leonard Fournette or anything. But then the second half came around and they said, hey, Leonard, we're going to feed you. I don't care if you're hungry because you're only averaging 3 yards a carry.
Yep.
So obviously you ain't that hungry or you're full and you can't move because you guys know when you get a little too much to eat and your waistband starts to pop and you ain't moving too quick.
Nope.
He did get the touchdown.
95 yards.
With this this usage, so this work usage they're giving you.
Workload.
Workload. There we
There you
go. That's the words I'm looking for.
Work usage,
Work
workload.
usage, making up words over here.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Leonard Fournette, you have to start him every week from now on. I mean, not that you were ever questioning it to begin with, but I know with the Carlos Hyde thing kind of worried me. After last week, we kind of went away from it. And then this week, Carlos Hyde, like I said, they gave him work. He had 8 carries for 44 yards. This is the best efficiency Carlos Hyde has had since he was in a 49er uniform.
That's not good. Doesn't make you want to start him.
Yeah, me neither. But we'll see. Jacksonville next week is going to the Bills at Buffalo. That's going to be a barn burner there.
Hey, they have a
really good it's 2 good defenses in cold weather where I don't expect anything out of either quarterback.
No, God no.
Exactly. So I don't know how we're going to preview that game. Over under, I'm setting
We
it
can preview
at
it right now.
42.
42.
Over under, yeah. It's Vegas. They're going to give it a loose decent.
42 points.
Yeah, it's one team at 20 and one team at 12.
I'm saying
Oh, sorry.
10. 10.
10 over under 10.
Yeah.
Oh, even the Buffalo Jets game was at 38.
Oh my God.
And
It's
I
gonna
give it
be
a little
6-3.
All right.
I don't know who's gonna win, but it's gonna be
Oshag
6-3.
Hennessy. And he didn't do anything. Good thing I didn't pick him as my tight end. 1 catch for 4 yards.
Yeah, I think we can move on from this game if we're
All right,
talking about
moving on. Let's
Oshag
move it
Hennessy.
on. We're
Yeah.
moving on to Cincinnati, but not.
Yes, we are. Cincinnati at Baltimore. It finally worked. Yes. Perfect segue.
I did look ahead to what we had.
Whatever, I don't care. Cincinnati, Baltimore. Baltimore won 24-21, and this was Mr. Lamar Jackson's coming out party. The first drive of the day that ended up in a touchdown was run after run after run. They had 9 rushes. That's all they did. 9 plays, 9 rushes. And got him into the end zone.
He had 27 carries.
Hell yeah, he did.
He was the leading back. with a guy named. I know you're looking at the thing right now, so you can see who the running back was.
Yeah.
Wasn't Alex Collins, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Was it Buck Allen?
Nope.
Nope. Was it Ty Montgomery?
It was Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards. Are we going out the waiver wire and grabbing Gus Edwards?
If you have space. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, are we dropping Alex Collins? 7 carries.
Got a touchdown.
He got the early touchdown, but then after that, he did nothing. And Gus Edwards came in there almost 7 yards a carry.
I know. That is...
If Lamar Jackson stays a quarterback, I do look at kind of towards Gus because maybe they have a thing with the run pass option being 2 guys that probably practice together in practice. Somebody that maybe Lamar Jackson is comfortable with.
Look at you. Look at the big brains on Brad.
It's the vodka talking.
Maybe, but it works because that makes a lot of sense actually. You know that
you run the run pass option a lot with Lamar Jackson, right? It's a guy that he trusts to, like he knows how I pull the ball out. Like,
right.
Alex Collins, a bigger back who maybe hasn't ran the run pass option a lot.
I don't even think he's a run pass option really guy, Alex Collins.
We usually don't talk about the running back when it comes to run pass option. We talk about the quarterback, but it does take like I know you're going to go that way. You're not going to try to cut it back to where I'm going. Like
yeah,
we know like we split out and go 2 different ways.
I think it's an understated part of the football about how much can go wrong in run pass options.
Yeah.
As far as the transfer. But yeah. Yeah, sure. Go target Gus Edwards.
And then Joe so let's just stay at the running game. Joe Mixon. Boo?
Is that what you want? You want a boo?
I mean 12 carries, 14 yards.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown. Oh my God, if he didn't have a touchdown and the 3 catches for 38 yards.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset because I am a Mixon owner.
A lot of people are Mixon owners. He was an end of the second round guy. If you got a big back in the first round, you got a Joe Mixon on the way back through, and you were happy about it.
That's right.
I know this game we said it wasn't going to be a great matchup for Joe Mixon, but I didn't expect 1.2 yards on the ground. Is this the Hugh Jackson effect?
I knew you were going to say that. Well, they only ran the ball 16 times. I don't know why, because it was a close game. Yeah. I mean, 2 of those rushes were Andy Dalton for 29 yards. So, really, running backs got 14 carries.
Yeah, Andy Dalton threw the ball 36 times. Tyler Boyd even had a pass.
Yeah, I know. We just
Andy
need
Dalton
to get...
didn't look bad, though.
No, he didn't.
He had 2 touchdowns. He had Eli Manning numbers with a lot more attempts. But
he had good Eli Manning numbers.
Eli Manning numbers this week. Like,
yeah, this comparable. Week. Yeah, who we just said had a good week for Eli Manning.
Tyler Boyd didn't kill you in PPR.
No.
A lot of people were fading Tyler Boyd a lot this week. He got about 11 points, yeah.
But he did have 11 targets. Only 4 catches.
Well, but he did pull he's going to pull the best corners now. He is the number 1 pass catcher there, right?
With AJ Green out, yeah.
Yeah, with AJ Green out. And hopefully AJ Green tried out the toe. Maybe he comes back next week. I'm honestly kind of worried about Tyler Boyd as the guy. We see it in the NFL all the time. A lot of number 2s try to be number 1s, and they can't be number 1s. John Ross had 7 targets and only got 2 of them.
Yes.
But he did get a touchdown.
Of course.
Baltimore receivers, do we want to talk about it? I mean, Willie Snead had 8 targets.
5 catches, 51 yards. No, the only thing I wanted to add to this game was, good credit where credit's due. Baltimore has a good defense.
If Lamar Jackson's out there, are you adding him because of his running ability?
Yeah, if you need a quarterback, well, if you have Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah, you can drop him and go pick up Lamar Jackson.
Would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Jameis Winston? Jameis Winston probably, right? Because, I mean, he's going to throw interceptions, but he's probably going to throw touchdowns.
Jameis Winston, not only for that, but also for longevity, because we don't know what's going to happen when Flacco comes back.
Well, I don't even know how long Flacco's going to be out. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where, you have a little more questions there. We know Winston's pretty much the starter now. Anyway,
and,
we'll
if
see.
You're probably talking about this, you're not saying you're not a playoff contender, but you're probably not a playoff contender if you're fighting between Lamar Jackson and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's your starting quarterback.
Maybe you're a pretender.
Yeah. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. Let's get into Oakland at Arizona.
What about the tight end wheel? Who was our tight end this week?
It doesn't matter. They all sucked.
Okay. Oakland at Arizona. Yeah, this is a doozy. Well, Oakland won. They won a game, 23-21. This was Josh's defense of the week was Arizona's.
That was mine, but it's okay.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
It's all up here on my paper.
Oh, sorry. Well, I just like to.
No, it's all good. It was my defense of the week, and it didn't come through. Derek Carr throws 2 touchdowns, but only 192 yards on 31 attempts.
Great game for Derek Carr.
They're running out of pass catchers really fast in Oakland. Jordan Nelson didn't play. Brandon LaFleur
still got Seth Roberts.
Brandon LaFleur may have torn his Achilles.
Yeah.
Jared Cook caught a touchdown.
Yeah. 3 catches, 30 yards, and a
With
touchdown.
no other wide receivers there, I mean, Jared Cook probably is still going to be an option all year in fantasy.
How you feeling about Jalen Richard?
Jalen Richard, 11 carries, 61 yards.
3 catches,
I did
30
see him
yards.
limping off the field a few times, so I do want to watch and see if he pops up on an injury report this week. I know he finished the game out, but I do want to see what happens with that. Doug Martin didn't run the ball terrible either. Arizona might be getting into their bad running ways. Remember, Arizona in the beginning of the year was terrible against running back. This may be a little more Arizona than Oakland.
Okay.
And let's move over to the Arizona side.
Josh Rosen.
3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Only 136 yards.
Only threw 20 times.
Only completed 9 of them.
Yeah, it's not good.
But if you're going to complete 9 of them, at least a third of them are going for touchdowns.
There's a positive. Yeah,
That's
sure.
math.
That's math. David Johnson, great game, 137 yards on the ground. He caught a ball for 17 yards.
Yeah, I mean, obviously only 9 completions, so isn't going to be a lot through the air with him. He had 3 targets. Nobody really got a lot of targets. Yeah, once his second interception happened, they were just leaning on the run. Byron Leftwich said, "Hey, Josh Rosen, if we go and lose this, it ain't going to be because you just throwing the ball around all willy-nilly like."
I guess so, but he did throw to Christian Kirk a lot. He had a great game.
Yeah, 3 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, 2 catches, 23 yards, 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
I mean, if you're going to catch 2 of them and they're both for touchdowns, your fantasy day is going to look really good.
Heck yes.
So I do worry. This worries me about Larry Fitzgerald. I know they're both touchdowns, but only 4 targets for a guy we're used to seeing get 11, 12 targets a game.
Right.
That's what has made him great. He's been very Julian Edelman-esque, right? The reason we love Julian Edelman in PPR is the same reason why I love Larry Fitzgerald in PPR. Slot guys that just go out there and just so hyper-targeted, catch 9, 10 balls PPR. I can pencil you in 10 points. Maybe you'll get me 25.
Well, I guess we see Christian Kirk now coming in and taking over.
Yeah, and really no other pass catchers over there I want to talk about. I don't care about Ricky Seals-Jones. That's over and that's done with. If you believe in Ricky Seals-Jones, if you're still whispering about Ricky Seals-Jones out there, Rob, you can quit the whispers. You can start yelling. He isn't good.
Yeah.
At least
Nice
not
try.
in this offense, not right now.
But nice try.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to our next game. We got Denver at the LA Chargers. Denver won 23-22. Whew, what a close game here in LA. Yeah, so let's get into it. I'm going to start with Denver. Is that okay with you?
That's great with me.
Okay, what?
That's great.
Okay, Case Keenum had 200 yards passing, and that's it. That's all I want to talk about. But Philip Lindsay, 2 rushing touchdowns on 79 yards.
He looked good.
He did.
He was breaking tackles, and he was getting to the second level a lot in this game.
But he normally looks good. Or he's looked good all season.
He has. I was really expecting more out of the Chargers. Bosa was back, but he didn't play a whole lot, so
Yeah.
got those stat numbers.
Freeman also had a rushing score.
He did. Royce Freeman is their goal line back, and I think that's what's been killing his numbers and why he hasn't looked good.
Who, Lindsay or Freeman? Or
Royce
both?
Freeman. Royce Freeman. Everybody thinks Royce Freeman's having a bad year, but if you look at the situation they put him in, it's been obvious running plays. He's faced more 8 in the box than any other running back in the NFL this year.
That's tough.
So when you look at that kind of stuff and you actually dig a little deeper in the numbers, you see why his yard per carry is only 3 yards when Philip Lindsay's at 7.2.
Right. Because Philip Lindsay also has that pass catching threat because he caught 4 balls for 27 yards.
Yeah. Cortland Sutton,
Hey, he was the number 1 guy there.
he is a little disappointed in Emmanuel Sanders.
Well, they both had the same amount of targets. Manuel Sanders had 4 catches to Cortland Sutton's 3. The difference is Cortland Sutton had more yards at 78. Emmanuel Sanders had 56 yards.
The biggest thing about this, Devontae Booker, only 1 target and no carries.
Yeah,
So at least they're going away from that now that Royce Freeman's back.
true.
They're not doing that 3-headed monster in the backfield.
He's not the vulture.
Not the vulture. Los Angeles side of the ball. Melvin Gordon back down to his yucky Melvin Gordon 3 yards a carry. Did a lot in the passing game, which saved him in PPR with 6 catches for 87 yards, but no touchdowns.
Yeah, that kind of hurts.
Does it worry you, or is this maybe the Broncos scheming to stop Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, I think the Broncos have a decent defense.
Yeah.
I don't think Melvin Gordon had a terrible day.
No, he didn't.
He just hasn't been having the days that hadn't. did not have the day that he's been having.
Yeah, and this was Phillip Rivers' one of his. He threw for 400 yards. It's one of his better fantasy days, but one of his worst real life NFL games. 2 interceptions. Been a little more careless on the ball than he has been. So we'll see going forward how this works out.
Hey, they were trying to win the game. You played to win the game.
You did play the
Keenan Allen, 9 catches on 12 targets, 89 yards and a touchdown. We already talked about Melvin Gordon's work. Hey, Antonio Gates. Play like it's 2003. Is he in the league?
Do you care? Or is this one of those fluke tight end things?
I don't know. It's your boy. You tell me.
It is. I just don't know what to think about Antonio Gates. He's old. They haven't used him all year until now. And now he gets 5 catches for 80 yards
Yeah.
and a touchdown.
And a touchdown. Whew.
And other than that,
Let me tell you. Something I could have used in my lineup this week.
Yeah,
sure a
Tyrell
lot of
Williams'
people could say
numbers
that.
look worse than Mike Williams, but when you look at targets, Tyrell Williams was 6 targets and Mike Williams was only 3. I think Tyrell Williams is still the better number 2 wide receiver in this system than Mike Williams.
You think Tyrell's better than Mike?
Going forward the rest of this year.
Okay. I was going to say.
Dynasty purposes, no, you want Mike Williams. He's younger. He's going to be in the system longer.
He's got that upside.
Well, as long as Phillip Rivers is there. Once that, we don't know what's going to happen once he leaves.
That's true. Okay. Anything to add to this game?
No. They won. It was a game-winning kick. Good game. Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah. We can't really talk about the kickers much, do we?
Nope.
Kickers matter too, yo.
You want to cover a really fast game now? Moving on.
Philly and Nola?
Yeah, fly Eagles. Whoop.
I guess we'll cover here. I'll break down the Eagles real quick. Carson Wentz, terrible game. It showed he blew up on the sideline. 156 yards, 3 picks. Ooh, no touchdowns.
Hey,
Josh,
you were right though about something on this game.
Josh Adams?
No, you were right about Golden Tate.
Was I?
You took Golden Tate over over Nelson Aguilar.
I did. Yeah, Golden Tate was used. That's right. Boom. I did it, coach. I did something. That's right. He did look a little more comfortable in this offense.
8 targets. I mean, they were obviously getting blown out in this game, so I have no idea what their whole game plan was once they got down by what they did.
Yeah, that's true. What really hurt people, though, is Zach Ertz. 2 catches, 15 yards.
And that's it.
Oh, that's
But
tough.
Josh Adams, I mean, obviously in a game where they weren't going to run the ball because they're down by 6 scores early.
Right?
7 carries, 53 yards, had that long touchdown run.
That's right.
He is the best running back there.
He is. And he caught the ball, too, 3 times.
Exactly. So I think he's shown that he's got a little more than the other 2. Going forward, I like him.
Okay, Josh Adams or Gus Edwards?
Josh Adams.
Oh, really?
Well, I think in this system, Josh Adams is more security at the ball. I don't know what they do in Baltimore with running backs. It seems like every year they pick another running back. They go, oh, Terrence West. Oh, Alex Collins. Oh, Buck out. Like they just pick a guy and say, go run for me, man.
Maybe they have the running back wheel. Maybe that's where we're messing up.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's go over to the team that actually did something today. Drew Brees.
He's good.
He's a boss. 363 yards, 4 touchdowns. Mark Ingram, 100 yards, over 100 yards rushing over on 16 carries, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 71 yards rushing on 13 carries.
And that long receiving touchdown would save the day from.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't get that, he probably ruined a lot of people's
That's a pedestrian number without that.
Do you think this Mark Ingram stuff is because they're up so much?
Yes.
This
100%.
is twice we've seen them completely blow the doors off somebody, and they just feed Mark Ingram the ball.
Yeah. But they're going to do that a lot because that offense is pretty prolific. So Mark Ingram's a good play. They're going to get up, and they're going to say, all right, kill clock, Mark Ingram time.
So Traquan Smith, after goosing people last week, said, oh, hey, guys, I'm still here with 10 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep, just kidding. I'm still here. I'm still a guy.
10 catches.
Yeah.
13 targets. He got 9 more targets than Michael Thomas.
Kind of vultured Michael Thomas owners a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming. I know I dropped him.
Yeah.
I dropped him after last week.
No one saw this coming from.
I mean, I expected maybe he could get a touchdown, but 3 catches like he had been.
Yeah, some
I didn't expect
Willie Snead numbers, sure.
But I also didn't expect New Orleans to be up by 4 scores and going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I really did not expect this to be a blowout game.
Yeah, Michael Thomas, though, 4 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara, we already talked about. They good.
They good.
Ben Watson, though,
Yep.
not good. I thought that's who Josh took as his tight end.
No, it was Evan Ingram, I promise. He lost anyway.
I know he did.
I know.
But I wanted it to be better
Remember,
than
because we were
0.
trying to give you... Oh, you want to give him absolute
Did
zero?
you try to give me Zach Ertz? Thank God I didn't take that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were trying to give you first pick. And you're like, so I took O.J. Howard first.
Yeah.
All right, Sunday Night Football. Last game we're going to cover here tonight, or on this episode. We got Minnesota at the Chicago Bears. Chicago comes out with the victory, 25-20. Man, Minnesota had so much hype coming into the season. Now they're sitting at 5-4-1.
They can't run the ball.
Chicago's sitting at 7-3.
They can't run the ball. That's what's wrong with them. They cannot run the ball.
Yeah, well, you got Dalvin Cook there.
Nope. 9 carries, 12 yards.
Whoo, baby.
They cannot run the ball. And he fumbled, too. So,
Ugh. Everyone was so
and he
high
caught
on
the ball
Dalvin
3
Cook.
times for negative 2 yards.
Yeah.
So they can't get anything going. Amir Abdullah had a catch in this game. Was it? Stephon Diggs, though, he still had him a boss game.
Yeah.
13 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown.
How many targets?
18 targets, 13 catches.
On the Russians.
Those are boss target numbers.
Yeah, 18 targets over Adam Thielen's 12.
Does this break Adam Thielen's streak of touchdowns?
No, touchdowns or
Touchdowns. He didn't get
no.
one. Did I already break?
I can't remember.
I can't
Brain
either.
fart.
But he had
It's
7
late.
catches, 66 yards. Kirk Cousins, 262 yards on 46 passing attempts.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, 2 and 2. That
Not good.
doesn't help.
Mitch
Take
on the
away-
other side, he still running the ball good,
Yeah.
but
He's
he
got
didn't
those
look-
legs.
His numbers didn't look great either.
No, it didn't. It was a close game all the way through. It was a hard-fought battle. It was a defensive battle. Jordan Howard had 63 rushing yards. Second leading rusher, you already talked about Mitch at 43. Tariq Cohen added some rushes in there.
Yeah.
And then he added 3 catches. Yeah.
The guy.
Are you expecting more out of Tariq Cohen now than what he produced today?
No, he's a. I don't
No?
want to say he's a gadget guy. He's a satellite back. He's a guy that they have to scheme plays up for him. He's not going to be like a Zeke where you can just say, I'm going to hand you the ball. You're going to run straight ahead, and you're going to get me 6 carries. He's never going to be that guy.
I didn't expect him to be a Zeke, but maybe like a poor man's Christian McCaffrey.
No. I don't
Not
think
even
he's a
that?
good runner.
Okay.
I think he's more, if you want to compare him to somebody,
Deion Lewis.
a younger James White.
That bad.
Not like this year's James
I know,
White.
James White is
from a couple
playing
years
out of
ago.
his
Like
mind
where
this year.
He's been good in the system, but you got to draw the plays up for him. I think he's a little more talented maybe than James White was younger. But he's also in a different offense.
All right. Guess I give him too much credit.
Yeah, I think he has to be the guy that like, all right, this is your play. We're gonna do some weird stuff, and you're gonna be out here.
Okay. So we talked about Allen Robinson going in this game, getting Xander Rhodes. He still had 7 targets, but he only had 3 catches for 39 yards.
Yep, roads closed, baby.
Rhodes
Speaking of
closed.
guy that last week who screwed over a lot of people, and then this week he says, "Hey, I'm still here." 7 catches, 52 yards. Taylor Gabriel, 9
Yeah.
targets, the target leader. Like I was like, "What's going on?" Like I didn't know Taylor Gabriel was on this team after the last couple weeks.
I know. He was
All over
hurting
the
a lot
place.
of people. Anthony Miller, 2 catches, 25 yards and a touchdown. That
Yeah.
touchdown makes him relevant.
He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
He's went.
I picked him up in some fantasy leagues.
He went every other week with a touchdown or with a good game,
Yeah.
and now he's finally had 2 back-to-back good games.
Well,
He's a rookie. We always
again,
talk
that
about
touchdown makes this relevant.
It does, but if he's getting targeted in the end zone, Julio Jones still doesn't get targeted in the end zone. He's just taking the ball 10 yards out and muscling his way in the end zone. Like he's getting targeted in the end zone.
Love it.
Trey Burton, 1 catch, 9 yards.
Ooh, sorry, Josh.
Yeah. Kyle Rudolph, 2 catches, 13 yards.
Yeah.
Either one of these tight ends going forward. I mean, Trey Burton, you're probably starting.
Yeah.
Are we
and
completely done with Kyle Rudolph? Vance
mean-
McDonald. Vance McDonald or one of these 2 guys.
Vance McDonald.
Okay. A Colts tight end or either one of these guys.
I'd take Trey Burton
Okay.
over the Colts guys. So that wraps up the games that have already happened
One question I
on
want to ask you.
Sunday.
Since we're not going to be back on until Tuesday,
That's right.
and then we will have an episode the day after on Black Friday coming out so when you're out mall shopping and you need to listen to people other than that lady screaming to steal your toaster oven out of your cart, we will have
Or
an
the
episode
pillows.
out. This
Don't
week,
forget the pillows.
Don't forget the pillows. Whatever that lady's coming to steal from you, or you got to if
I I'll be watching the
If
match.
Matt Chronic listens to this and you're going to steal a juicer out or a coffee maker out of some old lady's hands, 'cause I know he did that last year.
That's such a Matt thing to do.
Okay. You can listen to us in your head. That way you don't hear him screaming at you as you walk away with it. We will be coming out of that. But one thing I want to ask you, Pat, though, is
Yep.
since we're not going to have an episode until after waivers cleared, nobody's going to hear it.
Yep.
Anybody you're adding on waivers this week?
Well, we talked about Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
We talked about
Jameis
Josh
Winston,
Adams,
Jameis Winston.
James
Josh
Winston,
Allen.
Lamar Jackson. As far as wide receivers, I think most of the tight ends that we talked about are probably already owned. If Anthony Miller's out there,
Anthony Miller.
I know we
Yeah,
just
I do like
talked about
Anthony
him.
Miller. Christian Kirk.
yes, you got to add him. I'm be surprised if he's still out there though. And yeah, that's it. Tune in for football tomorrow, Monday Night Football. KC at LA should be an offensive shootout.
God, I hope it's 6-3.
I hope not.
All right.
That'd be so boring. All right, thanks again, everyone, for listening to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast and our Week 11 recap and all those close games. Hopefully, you are getting closer to your playoff bracket in your fantasy football league. And that final playoff push, keep listening, we'll keep helping. Follow us on Twitter at EmptyWagonFF. And let us know if you see Josh. From all of us here, have a good week and happy Turkey Day.
Later. Blah, blah, blah.